Guru Nation, Happy New Year's, Happy 2021. I know it's New Year's Eve when I'm going to post this. I got some really quick, actionable advice for anyone out there, whether you're a research site, a job seeker, or somebody that's trying to make their way up in the industry or establish who they already are in the industry. 2021 is going to be another year of clinical research. We have to understand COVID better. Some people are saying we need twice a year vaccines. We have to understand the long-term effects better. The industry seems to be wanting to do more or needing to do more research studies. And that's good for all of us because that's going to increase the supply of studies, the demand for researchers, all the stuff I've been talking about, yada, yada, yada. But I just got off the phone with a client and I got inspired to do this. I'm going to go a little more tactical on my Patreon channel when it comes to LinkedIn and business to business. But I wanted to do this for you guys because there's a lot of sites. This audience is diverse. There's sites, there's job seekers, there's all kinds of people watching this channel. First of all, thank you very much. Like, subscribe, hit the bell, comment, do all the stuff you can do. Just help me out. I'm trying to get to 15,000 subscribers soon, growing slowly, but still growing, so that's the important thing. But I wanted to give you guys some advice. So, every site, let's start with the site level because I think everything starts at the site level. If you're a site, myself included, by the way, I can't wait till I start my new site in May because I'm going to be doing this as well. If you are a site, you need to be dedicating. You should get an intern. There's no shortage of people that want to intern in exchange for experience on their resume. You should bring on an intern. Later on, if you think this is worth the ROI, you should pay for this person a salary, full-time employee. They should be managing your social media. And I'm talking everything: Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn, YouTube, podcast, written posts, Twitter, everything. This person should be doing all this stuff. Don't go too broad with your topics. That's the problem. The sites that try to do this, they try to go too broad. Don't go too broad. Go very narrow. For example, my clinics, we do general medicine, but we also do central nervous system disorder studies. If I were to blog about all that stuff, I would get lost in the noise. But if I went in depth on schizophrenia, or if I went in depth on postpartum depression, or if I went in depth on, for example, virus studies, COVID vaccine studies, how do we not break the blind? That's a very hot topic right now that pharma companies are actually interested in. How do we not break the blind? Things that are very niche. If your site were to do that, you would establish yourself not just amongst the patients in your community, but you would establish yourself amongst the pharmaceutical companies because they're on LinkedIn. And they really pay attention to LinkedIn, and you should be paying attention to LinkedIn in 2021. So the benefits of doing this, if you're a site, should be obvious. What's a little less obvious are the benefits of doing this if you're a job seeker. So if you are somebody that wants to be a study coordinator and is having a hard time breaking in, even offering your internship services for free, what you need to do is pick something you're interested in. So if it's asthma, if it's ulcerative colitis, if it's Alzheimer's disease, if it's rosacea, anything, you've got to be somewhat interested in this topic. You've got to go deep on this topic. So create an Instagram account for this topic, create a LinkedIn, create a YouTube, and create a podcast, and create some written articles. If you build this platform or these platforms and you establish yourself in the space, you're only going to need 1 or 2 months maybe to get an episode a week. So that's 8 episodes for a podcast and maybe a dozen or so posts on LinkedIn and maybe a few written articles. I guarantee you, if you chose whatever indication you chose, and you just Google research clinics in your area who focus on those indications, they're going to want to work with you. They might even want to pay you, but if you want to intern, in exchange, you'll work for free. In exchange, they're going to give you experience for your CV that you can then take to another clinic where you can get hired. All right, they're going to want you more so if you have this asset that you've built, this social media asset. This is what 2021 is going to be about. It's going to be about communicating to patients, communicating to the general public, and then communicating also at the same time to pharmaceutical sponsors. And you can mix up the content too. So on LinkedIn, it's more for obviously the pharmaceutical sponsors. On Instagram and Twitter, Twitter's a little mixed, but on Instagram, it's obviously for the patients and the general public out there. So if you can create these assets, you can leverage that into an internship. You could probably leverage that into a business if you do it right and you really focus on this. So that's something I wanted to share with all you guys out there is social media. Don't ignore it. This is what we talk about in my Patreon channel all the time. Patreon links are in the video description. I'm going to go in depth on LinkedIn right now on the Patreon channel, but basically LinkedIn is B2B, which is probably the easiest way to market, and it's the easiest way to establish your sites or your company or your own brand in that space. And you pick the space. Don't go too wide, go deep, and there's a marketplace for you. And if you're a site, you already know which indications you need to focus on and establish your dominance in that space. If you're a job seeker, pick what interests you, because that's the only way you're going to stay compliant in the beginning few weeks, maybe few months doing this. That's the only way you're going to stay compliant if it actually interests you, which can then translate into opportunities, career opportunities for you. So give this a try. I'm going to give it a try. I'm going to dedicate interns to this. If you're a site, you should do the same. And if you're a job seeker, you should become the person doing this and then reaching out to sites, CROs, sponsors, etc. Happy New Year, guys. Let me know let's see if anybody actually does this. If you do this, if you watch this 3 months later, so right now it's December 31st, 2020, in March, message me and say, hey, I did this and this is what happened. I would love to interview you, whether you're a job seeker, a site, or anything like that. Take care. Happy New Year, guys. I'll be posting a few more videos before the year's over. Take care.